Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I have a spreadsheet for Collect All Pets for the Rebirth Cave. I know a lot of you have probably been waiting for this, for somebody to put it out. There is a lot going on here, so I'm going to go over it with you really quick, and it's going to be posted in the detailed section below. This is just a basic understanding of what is more important, in my opinion, and statistically speaking. So at the top here, we just basically have all the Rebirth items that we can choose from. And then so here I have the eggs with the 3 different prices, which is going to be whether you buy cheaper eggs or even cheaper eggs or just the normal price. Most of this graph is going to be based off the median price here. The price per egg, the price that it's going to cost at 500 hatches. And this is a rough roundabout answer that I came about whenever I've rebirthed multiple times, I think almost 1,000 times. But basically, for the common egg, I said it might take roughly 500, and for the uncommon, it's going to be about 300. It'll be less because you're able to fuse up, and the rare egg is back up to 500. It's the largest section of egg that you have to fill. And then that followed by the epic and the legendary, and then prodigious. I said 65. Technically, it would only take about 54 prodigious hatches in order to get all 6 mythicals, but everybody knows you're going to end up with like 9 or 10 mythicals before you actually have enough. So with that said, we took the price per egg, multiplied it by the number of hatches roughly, and that's going to be the overall price that you spend per rebirth. I didn't do the overall price. Well, actually I did down here. 272 billion per rebirth. The savings per stone, since stone spent is divided by the overall price. So the savings per stone, 27,200 million, or 27,200,000 per stone, which is going to be up here to the highest here. Godly, I have Gold Hoarder. Because once you have Gold Hoarder, it's, I mean, you've beaten the Rebirth Cave anyway, but you never have to worry about gold anymore. So cheap eggs, even cheaper eggs. This costs 75 stones, so it's not really worth it. I would just stop at this one and not even worry about it. I know whenever it came out, I grinded to get the 75 stones, and it was beneficial at that point because I had completed most of the cave, but I wouldn't say it's something to like hold above anything else. So this is going to be the free pet slots that you can get, and whenever I went through the first time, I actually put that as a high priority. And looking at this, after you buy the whole thing, you're only saving about 1,000,000 gold per rebirth by doing this. 1,000,000 gold per stone, I should say. So this is the free pets that you get. You can get the Prodigious, Ascended, and the Mythical. To hatch a Prodigious from a legendary egg, the bare minimum it would take with three perfect fuses would be 17.5 million. From the Prodigious egg, which is going to take the 100 shiny points, which is going to be a few rebirths in, it would be about 12 million as opposed to the 17.5. So the Prodigious egg is better than the legend egg. And I have the overall Grotto savings once you get that egg, the overall savings that you can expect. But you have the cost basis and then the savings per stone. So every time you rebirth, you're essentially saving 5.8 million just by getting that Prodigious pet. And then it's the same for the Ascended pet, which is about 5.2, and then the Mythical, which is 6.3. And this is where it's skewed because that 6.3 million is a lot, but if you don't get the Mythical at the beginning of the rebirth, you wait until the very end of the rebirth and you have your Ascended Mythical that you still haven't selected, then you can rebirth so much faster. You'll be saving way more than the 11.5 million total, just because you're not going to be spending all that extra time trying to get one specific Prodigious pet to get the Ascended into the Mythical. You can just get almost there, and then you can complete it by selecting the Ascended Mythical pet to finish your rebirth, and it could save you 20-30 million instead of just 11.5. once you get to the grotto, you can switch the chart and find out exactly what you're saving. The next one is the hatch flux, which it was the number one thing that I went for whenever I was doing it. And I did rough estimates in my head. I never had a graph to find out how much I was actually saving. But essentially, I went with the median price, the price 2 from up here. And per 100 hatches, because once you buy one, you only have 1%. So every 100 hatches, you should be getting one. And the stone cost is 10 per 1%. And the GP per proc, which the proc is every time it's going to activate. I didn't want to put activation rate per gold, or it would have been too long. But so GP per proc is going to be 30,000 for the common, because you're going to be getting an uncommon, and then same for the uncommon, you'll be getting the next tier up. So proc per rebirth is going to be 5, and I took these numbers from up here based off the number of hatches. It's up here somewhere. Yeah, hatches per rebirth. So that's how many procs you're going to get approximately. So 5, 3, 5, 3, 2, and then almost 1 for the prodigious. But when you do get that prodigious proc, it's pretty big, which gives you a total of 18.6 procs per rebirth, saving you a total of 50 million just for that one upgrade, which is an average saving of 5 million per stone. So the fuse luck is going to be similar, except it costs 20 stones, so it's approximately half. I know there's a lot larger equation, because it's not going to exactly proc as often, because yeah, you're hatching 1,000 pets, but you're not fusing 1,000 times. You're only fusing 250 times. But this gives you a rough estimate. It's not as high a priority as the egg hatch luck, because you're going to hatch a lot more than you are going to fuse. Overall, I have the tier list that I generated, which Godly, Gold Hoarder, and then triple S is going to be the cheap eggs. It's the first thing you have to buy, but it's going to be by far the most beneficial, saving you an average of 27 million per rebirth. And then magnet, clearly, because then once the magnet is fully upgraded, you don't have to get the rebirth store magnet. You don't have to get the grotto magnet. Once you get the main magnet upgraded, you can stand in the middle of one area and basically collect everything to the edges of that area, which allows you to AFK overnight and acquire a lot of gold that way. The attack power is in double S because it is equivalent to gold. I stated this in another video before. It's equivalent to gold. The attack power doesn't cost any rebirth stones. So every time you rebirth and you have all that leftover gold at the end, you just throw that into the attack power. And that's going to increase the amount of gold you get per rebirth, which is huge. Well, as you can see, I put the gold way down here because I even have a note here. Do not upgrade because it's equal to attack power and less beneficial compared to attack rate and drop promotion. So I just wouldn't even touch the 1% gold until you have attack power max. Once you have attack power max, then you can go with the 1% gold upgrade. But even then, the ones that are required to get Gold Hoarder are going to be far more beneficial than the 1% gold, especially whenever it costs 5 rebirth tokens. S tier is going to be your pets, and that's based off the amount of money that you're going to save per rebirth, followed by egg luck, which is also, it's similar in price. The A rank is going to be your extended damage and magnet, because once you max your attack power, you're going to want to upgrade it so you can start buying it more and use all that leftover gold at the end towards something beneficial. Same for the magnet. The magnet's just going to allow you to collect more gold on the outside, but it is very beneficial. Next we have the fuse luck and the disc luck, which you can't really calculate that. That's going off of preference. Then cheaper eggs, which costs the 75 stones. It's going to be 3.6 million per stone that you're saving. And then the drop promotion and attack rate. And these are, in my opinion, these are top tier, except they're so late game that it doesn't really affect any of the new players. So that's why it's down in the A rank. And then in the B rank, which these are actually going to be one of the first things you upgrade, just because you have to go through it to get to other things. But the Forester, the Dune, Snowman, the Beach, it's all the free pet slots. And overall, once you get all of it, you're saving about $1 million per run, per rebirth. And then the C is going to be hatch speed. You don't need hatch speed. The only time you need hatch speed is if you're trying to speed rebirth, and you don't really start doing that until you get the gold hoarder, so you don't have to sit there and wait for the gold. If you're sitting there waiting for the gold, then there's no point in having hatch speed. If the extended speed, there's a lot of people that actually got this, and a lot of people that actually complain that their character's too fast. They can't do any of the parkour stuff in the trees to get the free eggs. So it's absolutely pointless. It's not something I would even recommend. And then there's pet speed, which pet speed is good. Don't get me wrong. It does increase the speed at which your pet goes from crystal to crystal, which does increase the amount of gold you get. But it's not really comparable to getting like the attack rate for your pets or the drop promotion. Then the F tier, which is stuff I wouldn't even touch. I wouldn't look at it. I wouldn't even consider it, which is the quest difficulty, quest luck, and shiny luck. I can't even stress shiny luck enough. I'm over halfway done with the shiny luck. And there's people that have upgraded it maybe once or twice. I've spent over $1 trillion and they've spent a couple billion. And they get more shiny pets than I do, even though we're hatching at the same rate. The amount you get from the shiny luck is so minimal that it's not noticeable. So I wouldn't even waste my money on it. If you have all that extra gold, go straight to the exotic crystal. Don't waste your money on the shiny luck until you have exotic crystals maxed. I know there is a lot of information in here, and there's going to be a few people that are going to change here and there because it's going to be more optimized, but this is definitely a good start to having your goals set for rebirthing. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. I know there's going to be a couple that want to modify it and everything. You will have access to it. By all means, take it, modify it, post it on the Discord, let everybody see it so that there is a optimized way for everybody to do this. Other than that, hope everyone has a good night.